Our next guest is an Emmy, Grammy, and Tony Award-winning actress and singer and a private detective, too. She stars alongside Jason Bateman in The Outsider, which you can watch on HBO Max. Say hello to Cynthia Erivo. Hi, Cynthia.
Hi.
What's behind you? It's very beautiful. I like what's
It's the
going on
blind
there.
it's the blind in this room, and it sort of has worked for every single, like, Zoom interview I may have done,
Yeah.
just because it's so sort of whimsical, so I kinda stuck with it, yeah.
Where are you right now?
I'm in LA, yeah.
Oh, you're in LA. Okay. And you're
Mhm,
from
mhm.
England originally,
From
right?
England
Yeah.
originally, yeah, London, yeah.
Do you live here now?
Yes, I do, yeah.
When did you decide that you were going to move from, because it's always interesting to me when people leave their home country.
Yeah, so moving to US was maybe about 5 years ago, because of a project that I was coming to do, but moving to LA was, like, ooh, just under a year ago, almost immediately after the pandemic happened.
Oh, wow. So you moved here and you haven't really been out of the house.
Not
So
really, no.
you have no idea what it's like to live in LA.
I
You
have
moved here
no
for
idea.
for no reason, really.
Well,
Wow.
you know what? I think what's good is that the sun is out, so occasionally I get to go out and run and stuff and do my exercise and whatnot. But I'm what you call a little bit nervous about it all, so I'm pretty safe. I don't really. The house is
I
where I
see.
am. Yeah, sunshine is great.
You originally moved to New York, I guess,
Mhm.
to be part of the world of Broadway, and
Yes, yes,
you did Color Purple, which was
yes, I did.
produced by Oprah, which
Yes,
is exciting. I assume you were familiar with her work.
I am indeed familiar with her work. I know her a little bit. Yes.
what what was it like when you met Oprah for the first time? Because I remember mine, and it was somewhat magical.
It was kind of, you know what I'm going to say? It was magical too. We were in the middle of a rehearsal for the show, and we were singing the last song, which happens to be the title track of the musical. And she walks into the room, and everyone bursts into tears. And for some reason, I just got this sort of um, moment of determination for which I refused to stop singing. I said, I will finish this song. I will not fail in front of Oprah Winfrey. And so continued singing. And it was like the last note, which is a really high note. And she gave me a hug. So I was singing this high note in her ear, basically, as she was hugging me the first time I met her.
Wow, wow! And did she get mad?
No, I got
No.
a big old squeeze. It was wonderful.
And what about the first time you met Jason Bateman? What was that? Was that equally magical?
You know what? Maybe magical in a very different way. We were over the phone. It was a FaceTime call, and we were talking
Ah,
about the project. It was the first time I was having a conversation with him about The Outsider, and it was so strange because it was really lovely. And by the end of it, I knew I really wanted to do this project, but couldn't tell if I'd actually gotten the project. So I get to the end of it, and he said, consider it, see if you want to do it. And I was like, does that mean I have the job, or does it mean I don't? I don't really know. So then I go into this spiral. I asked my manager if I should I call him? Should I text? Because he had said if I had any questions, I should text him. And the only question I had was, do I have this job? So she said, well, if that's the question you have, you should probably text him the question. So I did. And then kind of found out that I had it, but had to wait for a couple of days. And then it was solidified.
well, it worked out very well. This morning, you were nominated for a Critics' Choice Award for your role in The Outsider, which
I
is,
was indeed.
the critics are really the only ones who know anything. So that's a good one to get, you
It's a
know?
good one to get. I was the last one to find out, that's for sure.
Is that right? Why were you the last one to find out?
I guess it was totally unexpected, so I wasn't even waiting for it.
Hmm.
I woke up this morning and had an email from my manager and said, "Congratulations for getting nominated." And I was like, "Oh, this is well, wonderful, fabulous."
It's a good thing your manager is clearer than Jason is. I mean, you
She
wouldn't
is
know if
very clear.
you
Yes.
you are tackling quite. I mean, really, you're going to play Aretha Franklin, who
Yes.
is beyond a legend, obviously
Yeah.
musically, just in as a figure in American history.
Yeah.
And you're doing it for Nat Geo, which I think is
Yes.
interesting. Tell us about that. What is it that you're doing exactly?
So it's an 8-part mini-series about Aretha Franklin's life from the 60s through to the 90s. And it's everything from how she created her music to the life she was living while she was making all of this music, and who she was, really. Yeah,
And the life she
it's
was
kind of
living is
awesome.
an interesting life.
Yes, it is. It's a very
Yeah.
interesting life. And she was very private about a lot of it. And so you're sort of having to rely on not just her music and what she said, but like interviews and pictures. And because that's all of the pieces that you get to put together. And she's fascinating and brilliant and
Yeah.
went through a lot and made a lot of great music for it.
It goes to the 90s, so you're like even through Who's Zooming Who and that
Yeah.
era,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
is, and you do the singing as Aretha
I
Franklin?
do. Yes, I do. Yeah.
That is something else to sing. I mean, nobody sang better than Aretha, and
No one
which,
did.
yeah, that's got to be intimidating, I would think. I mean,
Yeah,
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 yeah. It takes a lot of practice. There's definitely a couple songs where I'm like, I don't know if I can do this, and then
yeah,
you sort of put the work in, and you put some confidence in yourself, and you go for it. Yeah, I had
yeah.
some amazing help, and my vocal coach was wonderful, and I love her music anyway. Have done since I was a young girl, so I'm lucky about knowing the music. So yeah,
And you sang in Oprah's ear, so really nothing can
I mean,
intimidate you.
yeah.
What's what's the toughest Aretha Franklin song to tackle?
There. So Ain't No Way is probably a tough song for like for most of us, but I love it, so I sing it anyway. But the
Uh-huh.
toughest song I had to sing whilst I was doing this is a song called Never Grow Old. It has no time signature. And she's leading the piano and she's playing.
Wow.
So I had to sort of learn just by listening. This is the only way you can. You can't sort of rely on the instrumental or anything. You have to rely on what she's doing. That was
So,
tough.
yeah, she's playing the piano. Do you play the piano?
I do not, so I had to learn a little bit for it.
Yeah, I was going to ask because those nails seem like they would make it difficult to play the piano. But I bet if anybody could do it, it would be you. Well, it's really great. You are unbelievably talented. I thank you for being a part of the show tonight. The
Thank you
Outsider
so much.
is on HBO Max now. Cynthia Erivo, right, everybody. We'll be right back with local natives and Sharon Van Etten, too. Stick around.
Jimmy Kimmel Live. This is ridiculous.